Well, welcome to Simon No ChaNoMa. Simon's in the room. Hi, Night Riders Go. I'm glad to see you here. And it's not too early in the morning, I believe, for you, which is rather good. My guest is waiting in the wings. Without further ado, I should like to announce my first guest for quite a long time. This is Dani of DanDan. Good morning, Dani.
Hello, good morning.
Awesome. Adjust the view there. Press the wrong button. There we go.
Hello.
It's not too early for
you.
I hope. No, it's not too early.
It's only 9 a.m., so we're good.
On a Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, I was still in bed watching
That's
YouTube.
True. That's true.
Hang on.
Oh.
I've got a lot of static going on my
that's
audio.
True, actually. That's true.
Is that me? Hang on. I may have to. I've got to unplug myself and plug myself in again. That usually does the trick. Hang on. Bear with me. If I pull out the wrong cable and I disappear, that means I pulled out the camera.
Oh, I think we got better.
Right. Can you hear me again?
Yes, but I think there is still a bit of static.
A bit of static. Oh dear.
It is better though. Slightly.
Right. Yes, I'm not monitoring it on YouTube. Hello, UFO Bob. Oh, UFO Bob is also from California, and it's also good for him because it's also a reasonable time. Dani says that we've got still a bit of static on the audio. Can anybody confirm that in the audience? Am I being? If it's just static between me and Dani, it's doable. But if the audience is just hearing me crackling like a Dalek. But anyway, we'll soldier on, and if everybody says no, it's too bad, I shall attempt to do something about it. But welcome, Dani. Sorry about the technical issues. Thought I'd ironed out. Now I shall just introduce Dani. Dani has recently joined YouTube, but has also been an Instagrammer and a TikToker. I'm going to be asking about TikTok later. So this is your first time as a YouTuber, but you've had a sort of experience on TikTok and Instagram, and you decided then YouTube is the way to go. So and it's proving quite successful, it seems.
Thank you.
I have static, but DanDan is fine.
I'm glad.
I'm just going to do that one more time. Paranoid.
Oh, you're muted now. Oh.
Right. That's yes. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Okay. That's way better.
Okay. Can you say something, DanDan?
Hello.
Can you say something? Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I can't hear you now.
Hold on. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Right. Can you check your microphone?
Let me check it. Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello?
I still can't hear you. I'm
Hello?
now better, but nobody can hear Dani.
Oh
no! This is not how you do YouTube, by the way. Tell you what.
I wonder if anyone else can
pop out and then pop in again. Sort of like sort of close your thing.
Let's
and then
again,
redo the link. Click the link in your Instagram again.
For sure. Okay. I'll be right back.
You can hear both of us, Bob. All right. It could just be a dial on my interface. Right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
It's just yes. It's. I told you it was an old computer.
8 years.
Yes. I shall have one of the people in comments who's a computer buff telling me you should get more of this and one of these things and stick it in the computer. No, okay. Anyway, where were we? Yes, you've just started YouTube. So everybody who's been watching the advert, Dani's channel is linked in there at the end of the advert. So go and click on it and subscribe because she has decided to do YouTube thoroughly. Very thoroughly, and every video for the next 4 months is meticulously listed and planned. So I'm quite impressed, really. I mean, it's more than I do. I mean,
I had time.
Oh, right now, sorry, just to interrupt. I've just spotted. This is where you get to use your Tagalog.
Oh.
Ayujen, MMLSO. Ayujen is one of my Filipino subscribers.
Oh, hello.
And DanDan has Filipino roots and does speak a little bit, a tiny bit of Tagalog. So if you type something in Tagalog, Ayujen, DanDan will tell me what it says.
Okay, I'm kind of scared because I haven't. I only speak it with my parents, so it's not that good. But I'll do my best. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just while you're preparing yourself, I'll say hello, UFO Bob. Hello, Night Rider's Girl. Hello, Ayujen. Hello, Alas. Alas is from England.
Oh.
UFO Bob and Night Rider's Girl from California. Like I said, Ayujen is from the Philippines. So I'm just waiting now for Ayujen to type something. And MDMA87 is from Colorado, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So yes, you'd probably notice this on your YouTube channel now. All your commenters you get people from all around the world. Not just your own country. It's fun.
Yeah, that's so cool. I find that awesome. Yeah.
So next week, DanDan will be doing her first live stream.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of nerve-wracking, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because you did your job interview, and if you watch DanDan's first video about her job interview, and I thought, oh no, goodness me, having to go through that's amazing,
Thank you.
So I mean, YouTube is nothing compared to that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun, actually. I really enjoy it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, just to get some background, DanDan. I was wrong. I've been calling DanDan like a Filipino YouTuber, but no. DanDan was born in Singapore.
Yeah.
And her parents are Filipino, and so you grew up for the most part in Canada. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes,
so
that's true.
I'd say 13 years. 13 years in Canada. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, there's Rory. Rory is another Filipino. We're getting the Filipino guys in. Hi,
Hello.
Rory. Apparently you're my co-host, according to Rory, which is fair enough. That's fine with me. I can sit back and you can take over.
No. Like, you have a really nice voice, so please go.
Right. There's some Tagalog for you. Rory is greeting. I have no idea. Ate atu. What's ate atu? Anybody? Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Ate's, kamusta po? Ate is like older sister, kind of.
Oh, there you are. That's something. Yeah. I've learned something new. I always learn something new when I go to my Filipino friends' live streams.
Yeah.
Because they're all talking Tagalog, and I have to ask them, what are you talking about? What is?
And then you start speaking fluent Filipino, like Tagalog as well.
Oh yeah, I think she said something to you. I mean, I can't pronounce that.
Kumusta kayong lahat? Kumusta din po?
Oh, there you are. I think my Filipino viewers will be greatly impressed.
Please. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. Yes. Hello.
So I mean, we're touching on here because you know Tagalog because of your parents. So and you did your debut when you turned 18 in the Philippines. Went there specially to do that. But presumably you have obviously have friends and relatives over there.
Hmm.
But you were telling me you didn't live there. You lived there only for about 2 months
Yeah,
in,
basically. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
total. So they only remember you as this tiny little baby.
Yeah, they do actually.
Yeah.
Because the hard thing is, because in Singapore, when we lived in Singapore, so I lived there for around 9 years until
Ah.
I left on my birthday. So I lived there for exactly 9 years. But yeah, like we would go every year to Philippines for like 1 or 2 months during Christmas or during someone's birthday.
Mm,
So after that, after I was 9 years old, we moved to Canada, and it's so hard to travel. I think anyone living abroad probably knows this, but
mm,
it's hard to travel between the different countries, especially with a family, because you're paying for four people, and
mm.
it's really long. It costs a lot. So yeah, they remember me as a 9-year-old. So it's been a
So
while.
yeah, they have to think. How old is she now, and what will be an appropriate present for her?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "Oh, hi, looks like you grew a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's been like 10 plus years." So
Uh,
yeah, but yeah.
so I mean, in your mind, I mean, because this is I wanted to talk about how what it's
Mm,
like having sort of multiple nationalities. So
mm,
every day you're with your parents, and they're Filipino, so presumably you're imbued with Filipino culture. And you lived in Singapore a significant amount of time, so
yeah,
you absorbed Singaporean culture. But
yeah.
for a great part, you've now lived in the frozen north.
It's really cold, so yes.
Yes, that was why I had a moose appear in the advert.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's accurate. We have those in Alberta." Yeah, no.
But I mean, which of the three do you feel most? Do you? I mean, because I've had guests on here before who refer to themselves as third culture kids
Mm,
who don't have a specific sense of nationality and
yeah.
are able to sort of fit in wherever they want, kind of thing.
I think thank you, Simon. That's a really good question, actually. It's something that like I've struggled with for the longest time, just because, like you said, like my parents, they're both Filipino. So ethnically and also visually, I think a lot of people associate me with like Filipino culture, which I do. But at the same time, because I didn't grow up there, it's really hard for me to relate with a lot of, for example, if I talk with other people my age, my Tagalog is very different from what they would be speaking. And I don't get the jokes, I don't get the pop culture in Philippines. So I feel like that's a bit difficult there,
Mm.
hard to fit in that sense. And sometimes when I go back to Philippines, I'm too like anglicized, I guess, for some of my relatives there, so they find it hard to relate to me as I do to them,
Ah. Mm-hmm.
which is interesting actually. Because funny story, whenever we go to the market, you know how we barter to lower
Mm.
the prices and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes my parents are like, Danielle, don't speak. Danny, don't speak at all. Because they're gonna up the prices when they hear me speak Tagalog. They're gonna be like, "Oh, she's a foreigner. Let's make it more expensive." So sometimes they're like, "Don't speak." So I'm like, "Okay," and I sit in the back. But so there's that.
Uh,
That's my Filipino
yeah.
side, I guess.
It's kind of
But
yeah.
yeah, it's weird, right? But then when I'm in Canada, a lot of people they don't know what I don't like that question, like what are you when they ask it like that, but a
Mm.
lot of people ask like, oh, what are you? So I find that hard to explain too, because I'm
I'm a
like,
woman.
yeah, I'm like, I am me, a woman. Me. So that's hard too, but I feel like it's a lot easier here because people don't associate you with your race as much, which
Mm.
is really nice. But then in Singapore, I'm not Chinese ethnically, so most of my friends and like my teachers were ethnically Chinese. So even though I do speak Chinese, like it's not my home culture. So
Mm.
I do have a wider knowledge of like how it is to grow up in a
Mm.
Chinese based society as opposed to a Filipino based society.
Mm.
So in terms of like my education, the discipline that I learned, like that specific type of discipline that they had in Singapore, I
Mm.
relate more to that. But in terms of personality, when I speak English, I would say I'm more used to the Canadian way of
Mm.
communicating.
Oh,
If
right.
that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm just wondering now because you said you obviously you learned Chinese in Singapore, but
Mhm.
did you learn Sinhalese? Do
No.
you no? I mean, do you sometimes end your sentences with the la?
Not
And
anymore. I used to. I used to. I used to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now you end them
Used
with
to.
eh.
No, no, that's a stereotype. I just kidding.
Yeah, I know. It was like
Yeah.
I was sorely tempted to put in some Family Guy like clips.
Yeah. I was like, honestly, if you did that, I would have laughed. Like, yeah. A lot of people do say A though, but just like casually.
Yeah, a
They're
boot,
like,
a boot,
no,
and
we
eh.
don't say that. We don't say that. Oh, you know a lot about.
No,
Yeah.
I have some distant relatives in Canada as well,
Oh.
and I used to do a show like 8 years ago
Uh-huh.
with two other guys, an Australian and a Canadian, so kind of
Oh wow.
learned all about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep. Some people say it, but not everyone. Yeah, that's true. So I guess it's like I don't know who I relate myself with the most. It's just like
Mm,
all of it, if I had to say. So yeah, it's a
mm.
very difficult question.
So
And the
I
language.
mean, but I mean, you've obviously been able to sort of quite easily adapt
Mm,
to each one. I mean, you didn't when you moved to Canada, for example. Like you said, you moved on your birthday, so that must be pretty bad. But I mean,
yeah, weird, right?
we're going now. Oh.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean,
it was like,
yeah, I mean, you sort of got used to it quite quickly, presumably.
yeah. Ooh, it was easier when I was younger, definitely, just because I feel like children are more like sponges, so they absorb
Mm,
things really quickly. And
mm,
if you make mistakes, it's more forgivable because you're a child. So it was easier for me in that environment to practice and practice and practice and like
mm.
make mistakes because people were like, "Oh, she's a child. How adorable!" So,
Yes. When
so I
you're
do,
35 and you're making those, like,
yeah, exactly. People tend to be more like,
oh,
so.
alas is asking. DanDan must be able to do fantastic accents.
Ooh.
No, no pressure,
I don't know if I
No.
would feel bad if I get it wrong. So like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's nobody from Singapore in the audience. So you can give us your best. Give us your best Singapore.
It's been 13 years. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Okay. Um, I guess like the most common one that we would say is like, for example, what would we say? Like, take me to the kapat lah. Like, kind of like that. Instead of
Oh,
saying take me to the
oh,
car park, we would be like, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's an
yes.
interesting comment.
I always found sport more Singapore segregated than Canada.
Oh,
Hmm.
interesting. How come? I'm really curious to like ask why.
Hmm. J Vlog,
Yeah.
you're on the spot now. I know. It's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
He's in
Thank you for
Japan,
joining.
but I mean,
Yeah. Ooh. I feel
yeah.
like for me, I would say in some respects it is, especially towards the like certain races, which is kind of a hard topic to talk about, but
Mm,
certain races I feel like are more segregated in Singapore,
mm,
especially unfortunately like um darker skinned people are more ostracized, I would
mm.
say. But in terms of, there's actually a lot of things that I find less segregated in Singapore than Canada, which would be,
Ah.
yeah, like growing up in high school in Canada, I felt like religion wasn't really a topic that people were comfortable talking about or different cultural backgrounds. But I grew up in the city, so that might be a bit different.
Mm,
The countryside, I feel like it's a lot worse for my friends who grew up in the countryside in Alberta. Alberta. So um, in high school, for example, people wouldn't openly say what religion they were,
mm.
and we wouldn't say Merry Christmas. Instead, we would say Happy Holidays.
Oh, weird. Yes.
Yeah, but in Singapore, we all acknowledge that everyone's like a different culture in terms of
Mm,
that. So a lot of workplaces will have accommodations, like during Ramadan, a lot of like people of the Islam or like Muslim faith, they would be
hmm.
able to take the day off, and it wouldn't
Mm.
be like weird or anything. They would just be like,
No,
oh
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
yeah. It's
national
Ramadan.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ah.
yeah, and then we would have a lot of festivals parading through the streets. So in that sense, I would say it is more like, I mean, less segregated than
Mm,
Canada. But
mm.
in terms of like um in media, I would say Canada is a lot more open. But yeah.
Ah, right. J Vlog's answering you
Oh,
there.
going to Little India. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true. That there is that, especially towards like darker skinned people, like I said, which
Mm,
is really unfortunate. Yeah.
mm.
And immigrants, there's not a very nice like stigma around people who have recently immigrated to Singapore, especially if you don't have the Singaporean accent, then people will immediately categorize you as a foreigner.
All right. I don't think they did. I mean, you can get Mandarin, or you can get Cantonese. Sort of like teach yourself Mandarin, teach everything, teach yourself like Singapore accents. They
It's
don't
so
have
hard.
that.
Yeah, yeah, because there's like Malaysian words in the Singaporean English. There's like Hokkien words, so it's yeah, it's really interesting.
Hokkien, aren't they the indigenous, the Hokkien? Are they the sort of? Oh, they were the first ones that got there. I think something like that.
Oh, I'm actually
Hokkien.
not sure. I would say because it's difficult because like the history is tied really closely to Malaysia, so I'm not too sure when around that they would have come to Singapore, but they are a pretty old like group in the country, I would say. Yeah.
And it's all mixed in. It's a bit like Tagalog, really. I mean,
True.
it's Jen and Adalabati. That's the YouTuber that I subscribe to, and opened the floodgates to my Filipino contingent.
Oh.
So yes, go and MMLSO, which is mega love shout out.
Oh.
That's what they always say on their live streams. And
That's
so
so cute.
everybody, I think everybody in my comments has subscribed to Adalabati, but she did a live stream from Yokohama Chinatown this morning.
Oh,
That's why I was
wow.
in bed at 9 o'clock watching.
I love Yokohama's Chinatown. It's so nice.
Oh well, yeah, go and check it out.
Yeah, I will. I'm
So,
already
yeah.
copying, pasting and stitching.
Right, there you are, Adalabati. I've got a new subscriber.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I
yes,
will
I mean,
probably-
once I sort of discovered Adalabati, I kind of looked up a bit about. I didn't know really anything about Filipino culture or history, so yeah, there we are. Wikipedia and Google were my friends, and,
Yeah.
discovered that the language is quite also a bit sort of mixed with lots of all the different like influences coming
That's
in.
true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
So actually, what do you speak at home? If you don't speak Tagalog, I mean, presumably you just speak English, with each other. Yeah.
We speak half-half.
Uh,
Yeah.
when you were getting emotional, it's Tagalog.
Ooh, when my parents are getting emotional. When they're mad, it's Tagalog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. But then generally, like both actually, they would speak like half in Tagalog and then half in English, and then I would respond half in Tagalog, half in English. So, yeah.
And if you were really mad, you'd slip in a bit of Singaporese.
Oh no! Oh no, that's scary. Ooh. If I start hearing like those words, I would be like,
Yeah.
run. Ooh. Yep.
And the cultures themselves are quite different, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Singapore, like J-Vlog is saying, it's not just segregated, but I mean, I've had friends from like 30 years ago who went there and said it's very, very strict, very kind
Yeah.
of like straight line,
Yeah.
you mustn't look at the cracks in the pavement, you mustn't
Yeah.
do that kind of thing, and whereas the Philippines is like kind of laid back. I
Yeah.
just to get the impression that it's laid back. My Philippine
Yeah.
friends, I just to get the impression that it's laid back. I don't know. It may not be. It will be.
Yeah, definitely compared to Singapore. Whoo, Singapore is like crazy. I remember, so gum is actually illegal, or at least it was, I don't know now. When growing up in Singapore, gum, like chewing gum, was
Oh, right.
illegal to bring into
Really?
the country. So it was basically like one of the Singapore's government, like the Singaporean government's way of equating it to like drugs in the country. So they were like, if people can follow a simple rule like not bringing gum into the country, it might be easier to indoctrinate them to not do drugs, I guess. So so that's why they did that.
Logic.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, when I was growing up, because I was so like taught in school over and over again to not do this, to follow the rules. So gum to me was like really scary. I was like, oh my, it was basically the same thing as a kid seeing drugs. So
Yeah.
when I went to an elevator one time, I remember this so clearly. I went to my friend's apartment. In her elevator, I pressed the button and the elevator came up, as elevators do. And then I saw gum on the railing of the elevator, and I was like, So I ran, and I took the stairs. I was like, no, I can't look at it. I looked at gum. And I was so
Good
scared.
grief.
Yeah,
Come
so
on.
that's how
Yes,
indoctrinated I was, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
J-Vlog saying the huge signs that
exactly.
drugs equals death.
Yeah, he's not wrong. That's true. So yeah, and gum to me was like that. So
So now
times.
you do gum at every opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like, oh,
I don't
Taliban so
care.
much. Take that, Singaporean government. I'm living a free life.
You know, big bubble. So
Yeah. Professional gum blower from Singapore. No.
there you are. That's a you know, a new idea for one of your videos. You know?
Oh my gosh. I'd be banned from the country. No, they wouldn't do that. But that's I guess like the level. And a thing that people find crazy too is like you can get you can get fined for not flushing the toilet.
Ooh. Well,
I don't know how they check that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The toilet police.
Yeah, I don't know how they check that, but
Ding
yeah.
dong. Hello. We've come to check your toilet. What?
Yeah, so that's right. That's crazy too. So there was that, and in school, I remember in every corner of the classroom and in every hallway we had a camera.
Oh, that's scary.
And we
That
were
is. Oh dear. Yes.
regular school too. So yeah,
Yes. In that case, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I don't know. You know, Singapore might be nice to go for a visit, but I don't think I want to live there.
yeah. I feel like it's fine as an adult, but yeah,
Right.
no, to be friendly to me. Oh no. And yes, I do want to buy a kilo of gum. I've been starved of that growing up.
Yeah, UFO Bob can hook you up. You know, that's
Yeah.
like, you know, high quality sort of
California gum.
California gum. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
those are some things I guess that some people would be like, "What about Singapore?"
Well, I mean, it would not go down well here. I mean, or in England. Sort of like toilet etiquette.
Yeah.
I mean, being environmentally friendly. There's a saying in England: sort of, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
I like that actually. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. But that's good
Oh, right.
too. It's
Alas
true.
has confirmed it for me. Yes, my sister says that as well.
Oh wow. Hey, I learned something new too. Oh wow.
Yes, you can. Next time you go to Singapore, you can say.
Teach them.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
But
dear.
it's true though. That saves a lot of water. Like it does.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you have to pay for your water, it's like, you know.
Yeah. But we do recycle the water in Singapore. Actually, like the toilet water. I don't know if I should be telling people this, but the toilet water is actually recycled into drinking water.
Lovely. Well, you're going to Tokyo and they do that all the time.
That's true, right? So,
So be
you know,
prepared.
yeah, Tokyo's water tastes so bad. Not gonna lie. When I tasted it, I was like,
can't remember ever drinking any water when I went to Tokyo. You know, I think I only draw either coffee, beer, or bottled water. No, not even bottled water. I either got a tea from a vending machine or a Boss
yeah,
coffee from a vending machine,
almost coffee. Yeah. Yep.
and that was my routine in the morning from the hotel. Sort of nip down to Family Mart. One onigiri, one packaged banana, one carton of juice, and a Boss coffee, and that was
Nice.
me set up until lunchtime. And then I had to
Oh
think of
wow.
something else.
Did you go to the konbini again for lunchtime?
Evening meal convenient. Yes, just get my. When I stayed at a place in Ginza.
Oh.
It sounds really posh, but it was just
Yeah,
just
I was like, Ginza.
it was just it was a hostel in Ginza, and. And I kept thinking, I should go out to a restaurant, and got as far as the nearest konbini and got a microwave bento and brought it back to the hostel. But you won't be doing that when you go to Tokyo. You'll be going out with your work colleagues and
I hope so.
for nomikai and
I hope so. I hope so. We better be eating good. Want to eat good food? Yes.
So this is the question. One of the other questions that was interesting because we talking got onto Japan now. you went to Hokkaido and you stayed with the host family in
Mhm.
Hokkaido. What made you do that? What made you
Ooh.
what? I mean, you moved to Canada. You were just sort of like absorbing Canadian culture and getting used to gum and stuff.
That's true.
And
True.
yeah. So what kind of like made you interested in Japan?
Thank you. That's a really good question. How do I answer this? It might be a long answer. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So no, I'll try to make it concise. So it was when I was in Singapore, I really liked watching anime because I was growing up in Asia. So
Yeah.
on TV, we would often watch like anime for like little kids, but of course, it was translated into English or Chinese. But when I went to Canada, I kept watching anime when I was growing up, and
Hmm.
so I'm the kind of person that when I see something that I don't know about, I really want to learn about it. So when I was watching like Japanese anime and I wasn't understanding what they were saying, I was
Hmm.
like, I really want to know what they're saying. Like it's bothering me that I can't speak this language, but I'm consuming so much of it. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay. When I was in grade 7 or 8, I was like, okay, let's study Japanese. So I started studying Japanese
Wow.
on my own.
Yeah.
But my dad, he had some books because he used to work at a Japanese company in Singapore.
Ah.
So yeah, so he told me to read these books that he had stashed in the basement that I never knew about.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Here you go. Here's my Japanese study books when I took Japanese classes at my company." And I was like, "Oh." So I
Yeah.
learned hiragana and katakana. And I was like, just for fun. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can actually understand a bit of anime now." So
Yeah.
that made me really happy. And then I was like, but I don't just want to sit at home and learn this on my own. I want to practice this. So
Mm.
that's why the first time when I was in high school, I went specifically to a high school that had the Japanese language program
Oh,
at
right.
the school.
You chose that high school specifically. I mean,
Yeah,
when you had to graduated from junior
junior
school.
high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like
The-
it's got to be a school that teaches Japanese. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true. They asked me, they're like, "Why'd you apply to this school?" And I was like, "Because you have a Japanese program." And they're like, "I like your honesty." So that's why I went to that school in Canada. But at my Japanese class, I remember my teacher coming up to me saying like, "Oh, I noticed you're really passionate about learning the language. We have this exchange program that not many people know about. Do you want to go on it?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Of course, yeah." So talked to my parents, but because they're Filipino, they were kind of strict, and they were like, "No, you can't do the exchange program." And
Oh,
I got really sad. So I was like, no, I'm going on this exchange program. So I contacted my teacher, sent her an email. I was like, can you do a house visit? Me as a little 15-year-old, I was like,
yeah.
can you do a house visit? Can you come to my house and talk to my parents for me? So she came. My Japanese teacher came and she sat down with my parents. She went over everything. She's like, these are the documents. This is
Yeah.
why she's going to be safe. This is how legitimate this program is. And my
Wow.
parents were like, we're going to talk to you afterwards, Dani. And I was like,
Oh,
oh
yes,
no.
that's when the Tagalog came out.
Yeah. And we sat down, had a long talk, and they were like, okay, we're not going to let you go on the 1 year program. And I got so sad. But then they were like, we can compromise and you can do the 2 month and a half program. Is that okay? And I said, let me think about it. So I ended up going on the 2.5 month exchange, kind of
Hmm.
changed my life. Understatement, it changed my life.
Was this in Hokkaido?
Yeah.
Yes, it was Hokkaido.
First
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
so
was
they found a matching environment, sort of frozen north of Canada. Where can we? Oh, we'll send it to the frozen north of Japan.
basically, yeah, they were like, which one is the most appropriate? And they sent me to Hokkaido. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really, really nice because I got to stay with a host family for 2.5 months.
Hmm.
My Japanese got way better when I stayed there. She was a good teacher. She was a good teacher. She was really good. Yeah, so she helped me to go on that exchange program. Then I came back to Canada. My
Hmm.
Japanese got a lot better. And then I won a speech contest actually in Alberta, like a Japanese speech contest because of like her help and the help of my other like student teacher.
Hmm.
And like a lot of my friends and my host family helped me as well, and my teachers in Hokkaido. And because of that, I went back to Japan a second time when I was
Ah.
like 16, I think, for the
Hmm.
competition. And that was for 2 weeks. Then I went back. Yeah. So then after that, when I was 18, I went back to Japan again on my own just to walk, like, to visit
explore.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
and
my
yeah,
host
yeah,
family
yeah.
as like an older person. And then last year, 2 years ago, oh my
Mm.
gosh, it's been 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago, I went to Hokkaido again, this time for 1 year. Yes,
Yeah.
this time for one
Oh, you
year.
stayed there for a year. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I mean,
university.
and
Yeah.
just on. I mean, you didn't have to sort of go there and work. Presumably, you
No,
just you had a year holiday in Japan. Brilliant,
basically.
brilliant. Yes.
Yeah, I did do a part-time job, two
Yeah.
part-time jobs actually. I needed money, so I worked. I worked two part-time jobs. Yeah, yeah. So that's the story of
Wow.
how
And
I
and and
ended up.
that's where you didn't actually join in properly the Seijin Shiki. I seem to remember you were kind of like I missed the embarrassing story bit because
Oh,
I didn't see what
I
was
could
what was the
tell you.
embarrassing? Yeah.
Oh, long story short, we went to the wrong Seijinski. We went to we went to like the completely opposite. So you know how like in different cities in Japan, there's different like ku, like the
Yeah.
wards. So
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
from Kitaku, like the north ward, but the Toyohiraku is like the main, like close to Sapporo Station, like that ward,
Hmm.
Odori Park, Sapporo Station. So we there were two buildings that were exactly the same, that were right beside each other, that were like holding Seijinshiki at the exact same time.
Hmm.
And we just saw a bunch of people wearing furisode going into the building. So we were like,
Hmm.
oh, let's
Oh,
go.
that's good.
So we followed them. But no, they were going to the Toyohiraku Seijinshiki. But yeah,
So they
we
had
ended
this
up.
list, and your names were not on it.
No, but they didn't even check. They didn't even check. I was
All
like,
right.
they just took our invitation. They're like, oh, thank you. Here's the pamphlet. And we were like, oh, thank you. Then we sat down and we were asking our friend who was supposed to be there with us. She was like, I'm in the back. Where are you guys? Why aren't you here? And we were like, we are here. And we kept standing and looking around. So, like, my friend, she's a very tall, like, exchange
Yeah.
student. So
Yeah.
she attracted a lot of attention. And we were both wearing dresses, not furisode.
Just did it. Yeah.
So we were already attracting attention. We were standing up looking for her in the back, and people were like trying to look around us, just trying to like see the
What's going
Seijinski,
on?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were like, we don't see you. So we sat down. We were like, you know what? She's tripping. She doesn't know. She doesn't know who she is. She's lost. But no, it was like we were the ones in the room. So we were like, oh, Inessa. Her name is Inessa. Inessa. She's in the wrong place. Yeah, you know what? Forget her. We'll just say hi afterwards. She probably will miss the Seijinski. Poor her. Poor Inessa.
Yeah.
But then the curtains were like lifting, right? And we were like, yay, the Seijinski start. Dang. And then we saw Toyohiraku. And we were like, we're not from
Oh.
Toyohiraku, right? No, we're from Kitaku. Oh, yeah. Wait, we're in the wrong one. So, yeah, we realized we're in the wrong one.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Excuse me. Passing through. Passing through.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh no.
Yep. So they were saying a lot of things about Toyohiraku that we couldn't like relate to. Like the the person who was managing Toyohiraku was like, yeah, in the past year we've had all these amazing events. Like, thank you so much. And we were like,
I don't remember any of that.
we were like, good for you. Yeah. So that was yeah.
But you got. I mean, who did the shamisen then? Did you see the shamisen in the Toyohiro, or did you see the shamisen in the Kitaku?
Yeah, we saw the shamisen in the Toyohiraku because the Kitaku's one was not as exciting. Apparently, they didn't have like performances.
Oh well,
it was
like
just
pure luck.
Yeah.
It was like a...
Exactly. And I didn't win the raffle at the end because I realized my name isn't even on the list. So that's why I didn't win the raffle. We were like, I hope we win. I hope no, because we weren't even on the list.
Not even registered.
Yeah, we could have won maybe in the Kitaku one. We just don't know.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's the story.
How you got into Japan? Wow. Yeah. So now you're going to go and live there. And work there. So actually, I mean, this is not just sort of going there and then coming back. It's going there and staying there.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to sort of readapt. But although you've got a lot of groundwork already. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a lot easier just because I do have a lot of like friends and like people I care about in Japan already, and a lot of them ended up moving to Tokyo because that's where all the jobs are. So I feel like in that sense I'm like really blessed because I have
you've got an immediate
people.
Circle you can sort of connect with, kind of thing. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But I am worried about my family here, so that there's that. I also have a dog. I don't want to leave her behind.
Yes, that's
So there's that, and then the job, I guess, is because a bit worried about using Japanese in a more formal like business setting. So I'm just worried about that. But I guess
So this is where we can't you can't see it, audience, but there's like masses of books of kanji all around.
oh really?
No, around you, because I mean I remember your video saying
Oh.
in the interview, and you I have no
Oh
idea.
my gosh, yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. Yep.
Oh, Perk is here. Perk is here. Perk is from
Oh,
Spain. That's
oh,
why I've got a funny
oh no.
little symbol over my my N, because he spelled it. Hold on. Hello.
Yeah. Who is this? That's so funny. Aw. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, you're going to go and live there, right?
Mhm.
I mean, do you know where you go? Have you, as that, because you've got to do all that in advance, presumably you've got to go and get your apartment, and or is your workplace helping you with that,
I
or have you got?
asked them. I asked them for help, but no, they're not actually. So unfortunately, they're not like providing like a place to stay for people who are moving to the country, which I find interesting. Oh yes, I will be soon, like leaving soon to live in Tokyo. Yeah,
Is
yes,
it April or something? Is it?
hopefully. But I can't actually go into Japan right now because they have suspended like visas.
Mm,
So I don't know if they're going to open the borders by April. But ideally, I would leave second week of March because my job starts on April the 1st.
all right.
So, yeah, and I found out that I can't get an apartment abroad and I can't open a bank account from abroad either.
So you've got to be
So,
there to do that.
yeah, and I have to
Mm.
quarantine for 2 weeks. So,
So you've got to, like 4 days before you have to
basically,
go to work. You've got to get an apartment and get.
basically,
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
Have you
So I
got your
really
Have you got your hanko?
no. Oh, I do actually from living in Sapporo. Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. They usually sponsor like 50% of it. No, but this time they only sponsored like 20% of it, but they don't pay you until the second
Mm.
month of living
So
there.
this is why you'll be living out in sort of Tochigi somewhere.
Basically, I'll be like Gunma-ken or
Yeah.
something like, bye.
Have you got have you been circling areas? I'd like to live in this area. Or yeah.
Yes.
What would be ideally? What would be your favorite
Ideally,
place to live in Tokyo?
ooh, if I have
Which
money or if I
Yes.
don't have money. Like, okay, if I had money, I would ideally like to live close to like Tokyo Station because they didn't tell me where the
Yeah,
job
so
is
a
going to
ton of
be.
money.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically, like the company is not. They don't have like a honsha, like the main building. It's not
Mm,
like that. It's more like they have clients, and
mm,
you, as part of the company, will be going to the clients' companies and like working for the clients,
mm.
depending on the project. So. I don't actually know which project I will be starting with until I start my job.
So you
So
need a good central hub to sort of like, yeah,
yeah,
so you don't have
yeah.
like a 4 hour train ride in the morning.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I choose a close area in Tokyo, but assuming that it is going to be a big company that the client is, I
Mm.
hope that it's going to be around Tokyo Station, like Shibuya, Shinjuku, like that
Yeah, the
kind
main
of,
areas. Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
hopefully. But other than that, like if not, then I do want to live in either like Nakameguro or
Ah.
Suginamiku. So basically like Ogikubo, Nishi Ogikubo,
Mm.
Kichijoji, like that area.
Oh, Kichijoji. Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard it's
nice.
nice. I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah.
anyone has like
It's very,
experience.
very trendy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have recommendations, let me know.
What else could I think of? Koenji is nice. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I've
That's
heard about
Koenji.
that place.
Yeah.
It's also on the Chuo's line. Okay, okay.
Mm,
I will
hmm
consider.
and Yanasen, so that's Yanaka, Nezu, and
Oh,
Sendaki.
yeah.
That's kind of more. That's kind of sort of kind of old world sort of style. Yeah, there's lots of like a temple every 5 minutes kind of,
I love
and
that. I love
little back
that.
streets, sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be
Oh,
also might be a bit sort of cheaper. I don't know. Yeah,
I hope
but
so.
yeah.
So expensive. Tokyo is so expensive. My goodness.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So that's the situation.
Exciting though. Exciting though.
I
Yeah.
know. I hope so. Yeah. Oh, what type of work do you do? I think not really allowed to explain, but it's essentially like consulting work.
Mm.
Yeah. Yep.
How
Oh, I
long does it
don't
take? Well, hopefully 4
know.
days.
Yeah. Hopefully. Oh my gosh. Otherwise, Airbnb
Mhm.
or the manga like.
I wonder if 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 you've got any friends there that they could do a bit of groundwork for you, sort of thing. If that's a
That's
possibility,
true.
you know.
That's true. Hopefully.
Because I mean,
Oh,
going there and having only like a couple of weeks to go, like traipsing around looking for places. Yeah, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
I mean,
this just.
at a pinch, you could probably maybe sort of crash with somebody. So I don't
I hope so.
know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll just phone up all my friends, be like, "Hey, I know your apartment's like 20
Yeah.
meters squared, but
I
can
need
you
a
fit an
couch.
yeah, can you fit an additional human being, please? Thank you. A huge green spot. Same, same. Actually, like I really want to live close to a green area.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
trying to think. My
Agreed.
mind's racing now. Where there's plenty of nice parks in Tokyo. Definitely. Yes. Yes.
A month after signing. Oh, oh no. No. Okay, at least I know this now. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's very long,
I
long
think
time.
the J vlog here in the comments is the only one currently from Japan. There may be people lurking.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes the viewer count does not correspond to the number of
Oh
actual
really?
people watching.
Yeah.
So the bit, but I think J vlog's the only one currently in Japan. So if you've got any tips, J vlog, for
Yes,
how to get
please.
an apartment quickly.
Yeah. Or even living, living in general. Yeah. Yeah. Very need advice. Yeah. It would be nice.
And will you I mean will you have to will you be still being a YouTuber then, or is that, I mean, because this is probably why you've got them all prepared now and you get them all done out of the way quickly before
Yeah.
you go.
Exactly. Did you? Yeah, that's why I did it until March. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, good question. Because, like, actually, this is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. So, the reason why I started social media in the first place was
Mm.
because my background is in political science, like, in school. And I took a paperwork in Japan. Yes. Oh my gosh. Even for studying, it was so bad. But yeah, so when I was studying in university, I took a class on the rural countryside. And when I went to Hokkaido, I was able to come into contact with more of the rural, Japan side. So I realized, like, oh, what something I really want to do is I want to promote like the rural areas in Japan because there's a lot of people who decide not to work there. But
Mm.
then I thought to myself, I was like, should I just stop at promoting those areas? I don't think that's enough to just do that. So something I really want to do with my like social media and just like my photography, videography, like all of that
Mm.
is it would be really cool to be able to work with businesses in the local countryside and promote them to people living abroad and living in Japan. And at the same time, to connect those businesses with people who are abroad that are looking for jobs in Japan as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that way they can get people from abroad to work with them, and then at
Mm-hmm.
the same time they can get more traffic in terms of promotion and things like that to their city, which I think would be really fun to do because I love taking photos, I love making videos and content
Mm.
about like places to travel to, as you probably know from my Instagram.
Yes.
So yeah, so
Mm.
it's really really something that I want to try doing on my weekends when I don't work, hopefully,
You're
because
getting some advice. Advice is pouring in here.
oh
Don't get the
yes. Thank you.
1K. They're a rip off. If you can get a 2 LDK for the same price, you can get a 2 LDK.
Really.
Mm.
Oh,
And
okay.
you're going to have a
Writing this
background
down.
check
Thank you.
because you're a foreigner.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I was like, that's no.
And you're stuck.
Unfortunate.
Yes, once you get a place, you're stuck with it for 2 years. That's a minimum contract. So
I've heard about
you know,
that. Oh,
if the cockroach family appears, you're stuck with them.
oh, oh my god. Ooh. No. It's true. No, but the thing that stressed me out the most, though, the thing that stressed me out the most was when people said that the first month you have to pay 6 months worth of rent upfront.
Ooh, that would stress me out. It would
Yeah,
stress
right.
anybody out.
I was like, 6 times the month's rent is like 6,000 Canadian dollars. Oh. Yeah. So exactly, which is why I don't want to have 4 days to look for an apartment because if I'm staying there for 2 years. I don't want. Oh, okay. I'm writing that down. 2 LDK for the same price.
Alas is
That's
asking
okay.
whether you could rent a room in someone else's apartment, like a sublet.
Ooh,
I
I
don't
don't
know whether that. I don't know
know.
what they're like for subletting in Japan.
Yeah, I have to
Uh,
research that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Telling the
sure.
truth but stressing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's the reality. Oh.
Ah. So no, I'm terribly sorry because at the end of this live stream you'll be stressed
Oh no, it's
out.
okay. It's okay. But I'm also excited though. I'm also
Yeah,
excited to go.
yeah.
So yes, yes. I hope.
I'm excited for when they open the borders again because then that means I can go again. That's
Mm-mm-mm.
I haven't been there since 2018, so it's getting a bit
Oh
been a
wow.
while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. But hopefully it'll be done soon, and then I can go to Japan and explore the Japanese rural countryside. I really want to do that. Sounds so
Hmm.
fun. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I've only really explored just outside Kyoto as far as countryside goes.
Mm, yeah.
And the rest of the time I was just like city hopping, and also Yamaguchi. I explored a little bit of the
Oh,
countryside in Yamaguchi,
yeah.
but
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's a good strategy for Tokyo too. Like, there's some areas. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. I hope so. Mhm.
if you have the time in between doing your jobs,
Yeah,
you know, you know. Because
exactly.
that's the thing. You. I don't know. I mean, you did part-time jobs when you were in Hokkaido, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't
did.
suppose they asked you to do sort of like 40 hours overtime or anything.
Oh no,
No,
oh
no.
no. They were pretty good about that. Yeah, the part-time jobs are okay. They were really nice actually, for the most part. So, yeah.
We have another. We have another of the mod. I should explain. Night Rider's girl, who's in the
Oh.
comments here, is one of has been on the show twice,
Oh.
and she's from California, and she and her friend Nancy, who's also in comments, and two
Mhm.
others who are not here at the moment, or who may be lurking, I don't know, are commonly known as the Mod Squad because they're moderators
I
on
saw your video.
Oh, you saw the Mod Squad video.
Mhm.
So that's Nancy and Night Rider's girl from the Mod Squad
Hello.
there.
I knew I've seen their names before. I was like, where did I see? Ah, I see.
Well, there you are.
Yeah, I saw your
Your
video.
fame is growing, Nancy and Night Rider's girl.
Yeah. Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah. The wine.
Yes, it keeps me well oiled.
Yeah.
It doesn't help with my microphone skills, but it's like
Yeah.
but I blame that on the computer.
Yeah. But I guess that's the plan for now.
Mm.
For when I
Well,
do go to
it's a big
Japan.
enough plan. Yeah,
Mhm.
I imagine it's all written down and like sort of
Oh yeah. It's
it's
actually
on a spreadsheet over here.
it's literally right here. Something remarkable. Do something remarkable. It's so old fashioned, but like I write stuff down in this book. I'm like,
Wow.
ideas for the future.
But Dani's YouTube link is not in the description. No, but there is a link to her sort of what your general social media thingy where there's that very stern picture of you. looking like you which I used in the thumbnail. But so
Yeah.
if you go to that, her YouTube link is in it, Instagram link is in it, and her TikTok. We didn't talk about
Oh
TikTok.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
how long have you been doing TikTok? How long
Not
have you?
that long.
No. So
Not that long.
you said which did you start with first? Instagram.
Sure.
You started, and then you thought, all right, what can I do next? TikTok, and then YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's I mean, TikTok is more for fun, presumably, because you can't really promote Japanese countryside on TikTok.
Exactly. Exactly. So
You have 30 seconds to promote
yeah,
this city
exactly.
on
So
TikTok.
yeah, I feel like the TikTok will be more for like funny, relatable videos for
Yeah,
people that I try to like be like, oh yes, if somebody is a foreigner living in Japan, we've probably experienced this before, kind of
yeah,
thing. Or
yeah,
if they're a Japanese person living in Canada, they've probably experienced this too.
yeah.
So
Like
probably for that.
crossing the sidewalk in Canada.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, it's terrible. It looks like that right now, actually.
Yeah, just like a sheet of ice.
Yeah. 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 So I think that's what that's mostly for. My Instagram's mostly for sharing information about like places so people can read it slowly. And then
Mm.
YouTube is for people who want to actually watch like videos of the places that I'm going to. And I can
Mm.
take them with me. I'll be like, let's go, guys. Let's go explore this
Do you
place
have
together.
from your trips to Japan? Do you have quite plenty of footage? This sort of
I
that you can.
do.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I do. From Hokkaido. I love Hokkaido so much.
Mm. And
Mhm.
so, when you were visiting in that year that you were there, did you ever venture out of Hokkaido and go to the other parts? Yes.
Not as much actually. Like I spent most of my time venturing around Hokkaido, which was really
Mm.
nice because my my boyfriend, kind of personal, but my boyfriend he's from Hokkaido.
Ah.
So yeah, so he's he was like, Dani, let's go drive. And so we drove around to a lot of places, which was really nice. So yeah,
Ah.
like we were able to explore a lot of the Japanese countryside, which was why I
Mm.
was really interested in it too. And because he was part of the cycling club in university, he was very knowledgeable about different cities in
Mm.
Hokkaido because he visited them on bike.
All
So he
right.
would be, yeah, he would be like, the locals eat here, or he would be like, this is their famous specialty, or he'd be like, if you take this path, it's a lot faster than taking the main highway. I'd be like, how do you know this?
Wow.
So
That's very
yeah,
handy. It's a useful boyfriend there.
useful. No. So it was really nice. Yeah. So I have a lot of footage from those. Actually,
Yeah.
most of my stuff on Instagram is from when we traveled around
Yeah.
together.
In
So
Hokkaido.
mhm.
I've never made it beyond Honshu.
Oh, you should visit
So
Hokkaido.
I
So
mean,
nice.
it looks a lot like sort of like England,
Oh,
or
really?
Scotland with with cows and hills and rolling fields and that kind of thing.
I would like England and
Yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah,
Are there mountains in Hokkaido? Is it mountainous? Yeah.
a
Ah.
lot. Yeah,
Ah.
there's actually this thing called like yuki no kabe, like snow walls that I never actually got to see it, but in some parts of the mountains, the snow is so high that they
Mm.
make like walls out
Mm.
of the snow on the highways. But by walls, I mean like twice the height of a bus. Like
Well,
so
yeah.
you can
Yes. Not claustrophobic. Don't be claustrophobic and
yeah.
drive in Hokkaido.
It's you can search it up. It's like really pretty. So
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of mountains. Good for hiking. Good for hiking.
Mm. Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't done that. I haven't done that for a long time.
Mhm. Oh, but you like walking, so
I do walk. Yes, it's a gentle stroll with my son on a Sunday. You know, I used to live in the English Lake District, so I did like that
oh
sort of thing, hiking and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's so
yeah.
nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
So it'd be
Mhm.
slightly different now in Tokyo. You'll be having to sort of like like pencil in days off to go off.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true. Oh, but one place I do want to visit is Kawagoe, I think is what it was called, Kawagoe City, because
Oh
it's
yeah,
like an older
that's
kind of
right. Yeah,
city, I
with
think.
the yeah, I've not been there, but I've seen videos of it with the
Yeah,
with lots of old buildings. It's sort of
I want to
and
go.
you must go to Kyoto, of course, and yeah,
Oh, Kyoto is so nice. Oh, yes, I love Kyoto. Mm,
yeah. Hmm.
so nice.
So
Let's
this
see.
is all to come. Sort of as soon as this live stream is ended, she'll be opening her book and saying, "What's next to do?"
That's true. All the places I should visit in Japan.
Yeah, and which estate agent to contact.
Yeah, true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, hopefully it'll turn. I trust it'll turn out okay. Just
Yes,
I have to prepare.
we have faith. The audience and I have
Mm,
faith.
thank you. Yeah, I just gotta prepare beforehand. Do my
Mm.
research. Yeah.
And now now it's presumably a lot of just editing, YouTube editing. That's what your days are consumed
Pretty
with.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No guidebooks. And thank you for saying I'll have a good time. Yeah. Yeah, no guidebooks. You know.
So I hope everybody in the audience has subscribed to Dani
Oh.
because she'll be releasing her next video, according to Instagram, next week. Is it?
Yes, next Thursday. Yep.
Next Thursday, right? Oh,
Yes.
good. Well, I'm subscribed, so I shall hopefully get a ping on my phone.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really
Oh,
nice.
this is advice. Get shoes. shoes with snow spikes on them.
Oh, yep, yep. I remember my friends. So actually, funny story. So my Canadian friends and me, we were actually fine because because here it's like whoosh, like ice everywhere. So we would just slip but never fall. But we should get snow spikes, honestly. But my friends from Thailand, they were like the first day they stepped out of the dorm, they were like and we were like, no! There were like 3 of them on the ground, and we were like, oh my god, are you okay?
Sorry, I apologize for Canada. Sorry,
Yeah.
a boot. Sorry.
Yeah. And we were just walking. We were like, are you guys okay? Yeah.
These 3 girls are like sliding around behind them.
Yeah. And then I remember, one of my friends, she got like almost really severely injured because she decided to bike in the snow. And for, coming from a country with snow, we were like, don't do that. Especially if it's like, the water pack snow, like the harder, like she decided to bike. And so her wheel went like, and she fell in front of the Hokudai, like in front of the Hokkaido University gates. And we were like, no.
Oh, I was thinking this was Canada. No, this is Hokkaido.
It's Hokkaido. Yeah. We were like, oh man, yeah, we're going to teach you how to walk like a duck. Yeah. You need to learn.
No need to do that in Tokyo. There'll be no need to do that.
Yeah,
You'll be all right.
I heard it snowed recently in Tokyo, like a lot.
Yes,
actually.
like a day it snowed, and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
I think. Yes, they all came out, and it was all over Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I knew about it. I was like, oh, everyone's posting snow photos from Tokyo.
The J-blog saying sort of that you'll rock it.
Oh, thank you.
But for 6 months, it's going to be hell. The first 6 months.
I'll do my best. Thank you. Yeah, 頑張ります. Yep. But
brilliant.
oh yeah, is there a place that I can like put my social media just in case anyone wants to follow? I can link.
I think you can possibly even post it in the comments here. Sort of if you'd like copy and paste it and pop it in. I think that it works with StreamYard. I think.
Okay,
it won't work in YouTube comments, regular comments, but it should work in. It might work in here.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see here. Because I think on the live stream part, I can only put it into the private chat, but I'm not sure if I can.
We'll find if it says go away. No, you don't.
That's okay. Let's see.
UFO Bob is asking you, do you watch Only in Japan Go with John Daub?
No, I haven't.
No.
No, I haven't.
Because
will
UFO Bob is a moderator on there, so he's promoting that.
Okay, we'll see. We'll watch too. I will watch that too. Japan.
And Alas is saying Discord. Are you on Discord?
I don't have Discord. No, sorry.
She's just started, Alas, on the social media thing. So
yeah, I'll consider it.
Soon she'll be she'll have pink and purple LED lights behind her, and she'll be a gaming chair, and she'll be on Twitch.
Yeah, I'll be a VTuber.
Right. You can. J-Vlog is informing me, that if you put it into the private chat here in StreamYard, private chat. Can you see it? Private chat. If you pop it in here, and then I can link it as the
perfect.
Administrative doodah chappy.
Thank you. Let me just put my YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much.
Copy link address. Okay, let's see if this works.
Okay. I'll put my YouTube channel as
paste and chat. Right. I don't know whether that's an active link or whether you'll just have to sort of copy and paste it, everybody. But that's the Instagram. If I go back to, I can only do one at a time. TikTok. True. Right click the copy link. Where is it? Copy link. There we go. Comments. Paste. Okay. Was there one more?
Yeah, that's my YouTube. Oh, thank you so much.
Private chat, YouTube. Oh, yeah, YouTube. So, copy. All right. Comments. The Instagram worked. Oh, it's working. Jolly good.
Okay.
Good. There we are.
I'm glad. Oh, I'll post stuff about Canada on my stuff too. So I don't know if anyone's interested, but yeah, I'll post stuff about Canada too.
It's an
Oh,
active
cool.
link. Ah,
Nice,
right. Good,
nice.
good, 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 good.
Okay.
I think
Yay,
something
thank
worked on my
you.
show.
Yeah, I'm
Been
glad.
doing it long enough. I should know by now. But then,
Yeah, thank you so much.
right, you've do. Oh, yeah, some of my subscribers are now your subscribers.
Yes, I will follow you back. Thank you.
Yes. And anybody watching this after the event from Dani's channel, hello. You're
Mhm.
perfectly welcome to subscribe to me if you like this
Yeah,
sort of thing.
please. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes. And you can send me a message too, and we can talk as well.
All right. Yeah, you'll be inundated now.
Yeah. But it was nice meeting everyone, and thank you, Simon, for having me on the
Yes, and thank
channel.
you
Thank
for being
you.
my guest. It's as I said, it's been quite a while since I've had a guest on, and it's really good. I
Thank
enjoy
you.
it. Nice
Yeah.
to be able to talk. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dani, for joining
Thank
me,
you.
and everybody else next week on the Simon ChaNoMa show. I don't know what's going to happen. Next Thursday, I'm having my COVID booster prick, and I've been told by Australian friend in town here that it makes you ill. So she'll see how I am on Saturday and how far I get. It could be just me rambling on, or it could be out and about, or I might even have a guest. I don't know. But it's a mystery. But I'll be there next week, possibly at the same time, or the usual time perhaps next time. But for now, thank you for joining, and thank you, Dani, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I think your
Thank you
dog
so
needs to go for a
much.
walk.
Yeah. Here. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much, everyone. Thank you, Simon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.